Women's World Cup. Not too often we have the opportunity of gathering together some cricketing royalty. Now at the moment the captains for all the teams are just over my shoulder finishing some official duties with a camel, would you believe it? Once they've done that, we're going to gather them all together and we're going to chat through some really important things. First and foremost, their aspirations for this upcoming World Cup. We're going to take them back to look at the evolution of the game, and probably most importantly, we're going to look at the captain's vision for the game moving forward as well. Now, it's called a fireside chat. We're probably going to have to change that because at the moment here in the UAE, it's warm, very, very warm. Plus, in just 24 hours, things will be heating up even more.
So we're doing this for the World Cup? Okay, let's go. At dawn we rise with fire in our eyes.
Ready to battle, to seize the prize.
On fields of green, where legends are born. We chase our dreams, fearless and sworn.
From blistering pace to that flawless swing. This is our arena, where greatness takes wing.
For every wicket,
For every run.
The battle is fierce, but we've just begun. This is our time. We'll leave no space.
We will give it our all.
With whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes indeed, and there are bound to be fireworks aplenty. 10 teams, 2 groups, with the top 2 in each group progressing through to the semi-finals. The final to be played here at the Dubai International Cricket Stadium on Sunday the 20th of October. Well, hello and welcome everybody. It is my absolute pleasure to have the 10 captains of this ICC Women's T20 World Cup sitting alongside me in their respective pools. Pool B to my left, Pool A to my right. And in just 3 weeks' time, one of these captains will have the absolute honour of raising this fine trophy as well. We're going to get straight into things. I know time is tight, but first and foremost to all the captains, thank you so much for your time. Thank you to the wonderful gallery of press we have here this evening as well. We're going to start with Nigger Sultana Jyoti. I think we were all absolutely heartbroken to hear the news that the tournament was going to be shifted from Bangladesh here to the UAE. In your tenure as captain, has that been one of the hardest things to try and get your players over that disappointment and then all of a sudden get them ready for the first big game against Scotland tomorrow?
Yeah, it was pretty disappointing initially, but the thing is we're very professional and it takes some time because it's not about only us, it's about everyone in Bangladesh and our families and fans. They were really preparing for that moment, and I think it's okay to be that now we are here and we are going to play this, and we are pretty fortunate that we would do something that gonna help all the fans and the families and friends to get cheered.
Well, speaking of the fans, they're not going to be here in the stadium, but they will be tuning in as well. And it's a wonderful opportunity, I guess, for you and this team to inspire the next generation of Bangladeshi players.
Yeah, definitely. I'm expecting a lot of spectators because in Sharjah there are a lot of Bangladeshis in here, and playing this kind of event, I think the more people will come and watch us and support.
Yep. I'm going to move on to Catherine Bryce, captain of Scotland. I was exhausted just watching your media day yesterday. It looked as if everyone was completely up and about. Is that going to be one of your challenges, just sort of tempering the excitement from everybody?
Yeah, definitely. It was a very busy day yesterday. Everyone's really excited about it all, and it's just that build-up. It's been a pretty hectic few days, and getting used to all the different media attention and the things to do. So I think when we actually get started, it'll calm down a little bit. You've
put in some fantastic performances, particularly in the qualifiers, to get to this point. What does success look like for Scotland this World Cup?
Yeah, I think we just really want to compete in this competition. We've played some fantastic cricket in the qualifiers and leading up to it, so I think just want to go out there and do ourselves justice out on that stage and put in some good performances against these teams.
Home away from home too, isn't it? You've played a little bit in UAE.
Yeah, I think we've probably played the most cricket out of most teams here, so yeah, definitely a bit more used to the conditions.
I'm going to shift to Elisa Healy down at the end there. You've played in a number of these World Cups already. And I think probably if you go back to 2010, you're probably looking over your shoulder, having a look at a couple of teams, thinking that's where the big challenge from. I think these days, in a tournament like this, you miss a couple of overs in a game and all of a sudden, there goes your chance of, winning your 4th consecutive World Cup. It's going to be tight, isn't it?
Yeah, thanks for that, Mel.
No pressure.
I didn't realise it took a couple of overs, but... yeah, 100%. There's 10 teams that are sitting on the stage here today that deserve to be here and are a real shot of winning this World Cup. You don't come here to defend a title. That's not what a World Cup's about. You come here to win it. So we're here with that approach. And, I'm excited to get underway. Our pool, as you can see here, is quite a tricky one. Got to get past a lot of these teams to be able to lift the trophy. And it's a challenge we're excited for.
It's a nation that hasn't hosted a women's ICC event before. It doesn't have its own national team playing in the tournament either, but nobody has played here at the Dubai International Stadium. Does that sort of level out the playing field a little bit as well?
Yes and no. I think the whole tournament in general is all about adapting the quickest. It seems to be the way. Even you look at the warm-up games, the facilities, you've got to adapt pretty quickly to what you're given. So it'll probably be the team that does that the best throughout the tournament that'll get the job done. But I feel like we're well placed for that, and hopefully we can do it.
I'm going to turn to Fatima Sana now, one of the youngest, or the youngest captain in this T20 World Cup. From tape ball cricket in Karachi to now captaining your team in a T20 World Cup, there would be so many people giving you so much advice over the last little bit. How do you manage that?
I just want to try a little bit calm because our seniors is most supportive in Pakistan team, so definitely there is a lot of support in my whole team, so I just enjoy myself and the team.
And wonderful preparation too, because you've just come from Multan where I think it was 40 plus degrees, so this should feel rather cool for you.
Yes, it's still hot here, but we were climatized well here because we came a little bit earlier, so we are climatized now.
Okay, all the best. I might turn to Laura, if I can get you to grab the mic there as well. Close. Really, really close last year in the T20 World Cup, getting all the way through to the final. Personal success for you as captain, both as a team as well. Can this be South Africa's breakthrough tournament?
Yeah, I hope so. But yeah, I think T20 cricket is such a fickle format. I think obviously last time was great, but we're just looking to take it one game at a time. Obviously a very difficult pool, but hopefully we can make semi-finals and then anything can happen from there. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit preparation because Harmanpreet Kaur, water, put soap in it, you're leaving no stone unturned for any kind of situations, particularly the dew here.
Yeah, definitely. I think this tournament is very important for all of us, and I think we know how important this tournament is going to be, and I think just going there and enjoying whatever the situation is, that is going to be very important.
Now, I know I'm past my use by date because I'm the only person on stage who not only wore culottes at international level, make that domestic level. Actually, Sana, do you even know what culottes are?
Sorry?
Do you know what culottes are?
No.
Yeah, there we go. See, that's how old I am. I want to go on to the evolution of the game a little bit. Harman, I'm going to get you to keep the microphone as well. You've played in all 9 tournaments, which is an amazing feat, a little badge of honour for 6 of the players in the tournament as well. I think one of the big changes over that time has been the introduction of league cricket around the world. The Women's Premier League started, the Women's Big Bash, the 100 and the CPL as well. How has that helped international cricket, the women's game, but specifically the Indian team as well?
Yeah, I think it was a very important for me initially because when I first time go and play WBBL, that was something, a game-changing moment for me because as a player, from there I improve a lot. That was a time where first time I shared my dressing room with other overseas players, and I think from now also whoever is going to play these leagues, it is very important for all the players, and I think that's a great platform where you can go and play free cricket, and you can always try a lot of things. Your batting order is not fixed, your things are not fixed, you are always going to come out of your comfort zone and doing well for your team. I think it is really helping for all the teams, and definitely it's growing, it's improving international cricket also, because if you see now all the teams are quite balanced and every player, every team is improving massively. I think these leagues are really helpful, and I'm really thankful. I was part of many leagues and improved as a cricketer.
Yeah, I'm going to turn to Heather Knight, captain of England, as the microphone gets passed down. Now, Heather, if I'm correct, 2013 you played in a test match where Sarah Elliott was breastfeeding her young son Sam. Things have changed in that area. Nat Sivabrunt is expecting her first with Catherine. Now, I don't know what Catherine would have been like as a mum in the change rooms, but that space in it itself has changed enormously. What does it mean for the players in your team, and also probably the future players as well, knowing that the game is open and welcoming and supportive?
Yeah, it's really cool. Looking forward to having a little Catherine Brunt running around. That'll be fun. Yeah, we're obviously delighted for Nat, and the support that the ECB has shown, like our maternity policy, is really brilliant. I know there's some really good stuff happening in that space around the world as well. But yeah, to know that you can sort of balance things alongside being a professional athlete, yeah, it's really exciting. It's obviously going to be a different challenge for Nat when the baby does come along. But yeah, I'm sure she'll take it in her stride like she does most things.
Will little baby be a batter, bowler or rounder, do you think? Well, first and foremost, definitely playing cricket.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Yeah, Catherine will make sure of that, I think.
Soph, to you, congratulations on your 9th as well. It's a wonderful achievement. I'm going to go off the back of Catherine Sivabrunt. Back in 2009 when she was charging in with the black eye at Lords. She was probably one of the only quicks going around in the game at that stage. When you look now at each and every team, they've all got some excellent quicks, so they're hitting sort of that 120 plus mark. Is that one of the biggest evolutions you've seen within the game?
Yeah, I think it is. That was still a scary sight back then. It gives me nightmares seeing Catherine run in like that. But I think that's been the great thing about the women's game is the development, and it's what's happened off the field. I think that's helped achieve that. In terms of the quick bowlers, you've seen the girls become more professional, and what they've been able to do in the gym is starting to see bowlers hitting 120 Ks, excess of that, which it makes for exciting, it makes for a challenge. It, as a batter, it's always exciting to be coming up against that. But I think it just shows the development of the women's game, that those sort of skills continue to improve and to continue to grow this game.
And how are your quicks looking? Molly Penfold looked great in the Australian series. You got Mayer and Rowe in there as well. It must be pretty spicy in the nets.
Yeah, it is. I certainly select which net I'm going in.
I thought so. Yep, well done. That's what captains should do.
Absolutely. You've got to have some perks to it. But look, it's a really exciting time for us. We've got a number of young fast bowlers coming through, and again, their development has been massive the last 12, 18 months. So certainly looking forward to seeing what sort of bowlers they can turn into.
Chamari Atapattu from Sri Lanka. I had the absolute privilege of sitting in the Lord's commentary box recently with Kumar Sangakkara watching... Sorry, Harman, the final of the Asia Cup, and two things stood out for me. One was that Kumar was sitting there and he knew every player and he was cheering them on, with such intensity about it all. And the second thing was the crowds there as well. You've played the game for a long time now. It must be wonderful to see so many more people engaged with the game, both as former cricketers from the men's side, but also new fans to the game.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, it's really good sign in Sri Lanka women's cricket because a lot of spectators come on the ground. I think it's close to 20,000 people watching the game in semi-finals and finals as well. So that's really good sign for Sri Lanka women's cricket. Yeah, you mentioned about Kumar. Yeah, so he's legend of Sri Lanka cricket. So I love to see that video in social media, and even he talked to me, and all the time he talked to my teammates as well. So that's really good because the men's cricket is also interested about women's cricket in Sri Lanka. So the government and everyone helped me to achieve these things. So we, as a team, as a person, we sacrificed a lot of things for Sri Lanka cricket. So finally we achieved something for Sri Lanka that's really good for us. I hope my girl will continue this best performance this T20 World Cup as well.
Well, if you win this T20 World Cup, look out Kumar Sangakkara, because he was so excited during that one. It'll be absolutely wonderful to see. I'm going to turn to Hayley Matthews from the West Indies. Now, Hayley, when the West Indies won their first title back in 2016, it was a $1.6 million pool. That has now upped quite a bit. We now have parity in the game, which is absolutely amazing. What does it mean for the players moving forward to have that equal prize money and for money in the matches as well?
Yeah, I think it's really good to see. I do think it's very well deserved. I think all of us ladies step out there with blood, sweat and tears and play and train really hard all year round, just like the men. So I think it's really well deserved that we get equal prize money now, and kudos to ICC for doing that.
Okay, we're going to shift reasonably quickly here into the leadership aspect while we've got these magnificent captains on the stage as well. Elisa, I might start with you in terms of leadership. It was a little bit of hokey-pokey for you coming into the team. You're sort of in with Meg Lanning coming back and then out again and back into the side. How did you manage that when you weren't 100% sure that you had full control of this team into now completely being the full-time captain?
I wouldn't say I've still got full control, Mel, but I think I approached it like I do everyday life. I mean, you take it as each day as it comes, and obviously we wanted Meg back at any moment, and I knew I was just filling a seat. But obviously, when she decided to step away from the game officially, there was a process in place, and put my hand up for it and got the job. But it's been a really enjoyable experience so far. I mean, I'm really grateful at the point in my career to have an opportunity to learn more about myself and probably more about my teammates and the sport as a whole as well. So it's been good. This World Cup experience has been quite different as skipper, that's for sure. But the girls are at the water park today and I'm here, so I'm pretty disappointed.
I think they'll be reasonably happy because I could see you bombing them at different stages as well. Just on that expectation, you've seen it as a player, you've felt it, sort of seeing all these teams coming at Australia all the time. Is it different now as a captain? Do you have to manage that differently?
No, not really. I think you're probably more aware of your expressions on your face a little bit more. It seems to be the case. You're on camera a little bit more, but it feels like, without being disrespectful, it feels like we've been hunted for a long period of time and we're constantly being asked about that, and we're used to that now. Teams are coming really, really hard at us and trying to put us under the pump, which we love, and it's a continual challenge for us to absorb that and try and do it back ourselves, I guess, to continue to evolve. So this World Cup's going to be no different. We know exactly what the other 9 teams are going to throw at us, given the opportunity. So, like I said, we see it as a real challenge and a great opportunity to showcase a brand of cricket that we really enjoy playing.
Just off that, I might go back to Hayley because you've got the microphone in your hand as well. Just talking about the preparation as a captain for this World Cup. How long out does it start? How much are you drilling down into each player and each team? And just how hard is it to manage a T20 game of cricket?
Yeah, I think it's quite a long process actually. You play all year long preparing. I think this is obviously the pinnacle of where you want to be as a team and where you want to be competing. And every series you play, every training session you have is kind of towards that goal of a World Cup. So it definitely is a long process. And I think as the West Indies team, we've had in our sights for a very long time. So yeah, just hoping for some success, hopefully.
I might get you to pass the mic back to Catherine. Catherine, what kind of captain are you? You're new to this environment. We're still getting to know you as well. And when you're out on the field and the Scottish team is up and about and having an enjoyable time, are you one to go, hey, come on, knuckle down a little bit, or do you sort of how do you balance all that out on the field?
Yes, try and just stay fairly level. Few people's emotions get up and about, but just trying to keep them, as level as possible, but also kind of at their optimum to play at their best. Like some people really need to get that fire in their belly to perform at your best, so just kind of encouraging them to do that as well.
Are you sort of, have you worked on your pre-tournament speech? You've got a big game tomorrow. You're going to get them into your room tonight or tomorrow morning if you're doing like a William Wallace kind of rev them up kind of speech?
Not a huge amount. We did have a little Kaylee dance, which remarkably a rain delay the other day at our game. So just put a bit of Scottish music on and a bit of entertainment for everyone.
Sorry, you had a rain delay?
Rain delay, yes, yes, here.
You've brought rain to the UAE.
Chucked it down at Seven Stadium the other day. So.
Wow. Okay. Jamo, I might get you to give the phone to Harman. Decision-making under pressure. You've had to manage that for a number of years now. You've played in big moments domestically and internationally. Is that something that you keep learning on the job, and how do you fine-tune it as a captain?
Yeah, I think that is something we keep learning every day because when you win, sometimes you feel, okay, that is something I have achieved. But at the same time, next day when you go and you again make small mistakes, and I think that is part of the game. And I think learning is something which is never going to stop. And every day is a learning day. Every day I'm going and learning and, getting experience from each and every game. And I think people around me, they are helping me. They are working hard to make our team, at that level where we want to be. And I think, every day is a learning day, and really happy where, our team is, how our team is, working hard to achieve small things.
Okay. So, leadership, captains, leaders, born, or are they made? And where do you sit?
Give us the hard ones. I think it's a bit of both, to be fair. I think you're going to see some natural leaders that just tend to have qualities that resonate with being a leader, but then there's other people that I think can grow and develop into it. I think, it really depends in the environment that you grow up in and the environments that you're exposed to and the people that surround you. I think that's a really important thing. I guess I'm a bit similar to Alyssa in terms of I came into the job a little bit later, so I was able to, experience different captains, different leaders, and take bits and pieces and I guess bring that to my own style of captaincy. But I guess it's a question that is going to vary between every captain.
And it's your last hurrah as captain. It'd be a nice way to go win a trophy, hand it over to the new captain and go, there you go, try and beat that.
Yeah, absolutely, while riding a camel. I mean, what else do you want to do?
Perfect.
Great stuff.
I'm sure there's a line there somewhere. Heather, longest serving captain in this T20 World Cup. You came off the back of Charlotte Edwards, who was a long serving captain as well. Did she give you any sort of heads up on how to keep things fresh for you as an individual, but also for the players?
I think captaincy is always a constant challenge. So I don't think you need that freshness as a captain. You've always been challenged in different ways and trying to learn little tricks and trying to grow in everything you do. But I think as you're there more, you learn to get your messages across in slightly different ways, using the people around you. I've got through a few coaches as well, so that kind of helps freshen things up. And obviously the team's constantly evolving, which is a place where you're obviously keeping things fresh and finding different ways to say things. So thanks for the reminder. I've been here the longest, but I'm still loving it.
And what's different from Heather Knight as captain when she first took over and Heather Knight now?
Lots, I'd say. I was 25-year-old, fresh-faced. Learned a lot about myself, how I react to certain situations. I think probably the best bit of advice that I got when I got made captain was be the captain that the team needs. So try and always find that way to get the best out of the people around you and try and help the team get to where they need to be, basically. So, I'm certainly very different. A few more wrinkles, that's for sure. A few more grey hairs. But it's a job that's one of the best in the world because it really challenges you and makes you evolve as a person and as a leader.
Okay. Chamari, I might ask you the next one. You've been playing in leagues around the world for a number of years now. That hasn't been the case for a number of your players, though. So you as a captain coming in and sort of putting your stamp of style on this Sri Lankan side, what can we expect to see?
Actually, after 2017, I played a lot of franchise around the world. I learned a lot of things. Sometimes people think franchise cricket all about money, but I learned a lot of things from the franchise cricket because I share the same dressing room with the big players and some experienced players. So I learn a lot of things and I share these things with my youngsters. So actually, my team is a very young team now. So they need some good advice. I always be there. I want to be a good role model. I always lead in from the front. So I always share my knowledge with the youngsters. So I hope I can build a good team in future as well.
100% fantastic role model. Speaking of role models, I'm going to go back to Nigard. Now, when you took over the captaincy, I think you've got 3 ex-captains in your side as well. How do you balance that? Because I'm sure there's lots of advice coming your ways at different stages.
I think it was a pretty challenging for me initially, but the thing is they were very supportive and they really helped me on and off the field. And we've been playing together for a long time, so it was very, first of all, very easy for me because I don't have to do something differently because they all know, they're all experienced and they know their roles, so they helped me on the ground.
Over to you, youngster. You got the captaincy and played a magnificent batting innings and bowling innings first and foremost in New Zealand. Then you got a win in your second game as well. And you're a bowling captain. Most people say bowlers can't be captains. Do you enjoy that?
Yes, hopefully I will try to enjoy myself and express myself and backing myself as well.
And I'm guessing there is lots of information coming your way. Former captains, coaches, family, friends, all trying to help you along the journey. How do you balance taking in some of the information, but then at times saying, I've got this?
Actually, our whole management supporting me, and they told me that you just take a brave decision in the field, so just try to this and be calm and just do whatever you want. So that's my management said, so I will try to improve this.
Yeah, well, you are calm. You're calming me down. It's absolutely fantastic. You're going to sit next to me in every interview as we're going along. Laura, Hilton was coach for, I think, 11 years, a little bit over 11 years with the South African side. You've got a new coach coming in Dylan Dupree at the moment. Talk to us about the relationship between the captain and the coach and how important it is.
Yeah, it's obviously a bit different now. Obviously, I think most players who have played in the team have never played under anyone besides Hilton. But Dylan, who's taken over, has been with us for 4 or 5 years. So he still kind of knows, how things were. And we've actually got a batting coach and a fielding coach now this season for the first time officially as well. So everything just feels really well organised at the moment. Yeah, and it's been great just getting a lot of information from a lot of different coaches. So it's been good.
It also goes to show the advancement in the game too. You've just said that you've got a batting coach and a fielding coach for the first time as well.
Yeah, exactly. We usually just had coach and assistant. So just to have the extra hands of training, just to have specific groups doing specific things has been awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yourself and Miss Calm sitting next to me here, since taking over the captaincy, your own individual performances have absolutely skyrocketed. What do you put that down to?
I think I maybe just don't think about my batting as much, which is a good thing. I tend to be a bit of an overthinker in my hotel room, so I think it just distracted me a bit on the field and sort of think about the game in a different way, think more about bowling plans and conditions and that sort of thing. So, yeah.
We're going to move into just a little bit of a sneak peek into the future of the game. And I'm going to ask the same question to two of the captains here, just to save on a little bit of time. So the first one is to Catherine and Nigard. 12 countries in the next T20 World Cup, so we've got an additional 2, which is absolutely wonderful. You've been in and around associate cricket and playing in qualifiers for a number of years now. Who's going to make the biggest waves in the future of the game that aren't sitting on this stage at the moment? Which teams?
It should be us, I think.
Oh, you can't pick yourself. No. I like it. And as captain, you should be going there. But a team that isn't sitting here at the moment, in and around world cricket, is there someone that we should be looking out for?
I think Scotland, because how they played in the qualifier, I think this is their first World Cup, and they've been doing well for the last couple of years. So, yeah.
Oh, I like that. Over to you, Catherine. You've got to say thanks first and foremost. And give us a team that we haven't seen too much that potentially we'll be seeing in the next T20 World Cup.
I reckon PNG are a great shout. They play with a lot of freedom. They've got a lot of challenges in a lot of what they do, but they come out onto that pitch and they give it absolutely everything and just battle right to the end, and given us a really couple of close games in the last couple of qualifiers. So I think they've got a team with a lot of talent that I reckon you could see at the next World Cup.
Papua New Guinea, I like it. You're going to be making back of paper news now with that one. I think it particularly important, Moresby. The next one is to Hayley and Chamari. Equal prize money has been a huge step forward for the game. Is there something else that can be done to that magnitude that can really shift the game forward in the next 12 months? It's a tricky one. I know Elisa Healy's looking at me as if to say...
You go first, Asa.
Oh, you've just handballed it across to Jamari. Is there anything that you would love to see in the women's game at the moment change?
Yeah, definitely the payments, contracts, because I heard a few countries increase the women's players' contracts as well. So I hope all countries can do that for women's cricket, because I think girls sacrifice a lot of things for women's cricket. So we need that kind of appreciation from every cricket board around the world. So I hope they will do this for women's cricket, and the media support is important for the women's game and the sponsorships and stuff. So I feel the women's game and the men's game play in the same way, so approach is same. So we need that appreciation from around the world.
Chamari has helped you out immensely there. She's given 2 fantastic answers and taken a little bit of time as well. Is there anything else you'd like to add to it, Hayley?
Yeah, I think just getting to play against more teams. We've seen so many teams get closer to the top 3 in world cricket in the last few years, and I think that was because of more opportunity. And I feel as though if other teams are given an opportunity to play against the top-ranked teams, it only makes them better and makes the system better as well, and helps women's cricket to grow overall.
I might go to the 2 youngest captains in Fatima and Laura. Sometimes us oldies get a little bit jaded about the world. What's something really positive that you see in the game at the moment that you would like people to focus on?
I think here is a lot of things in women's cricket because I've seen a lot of leagues here, so definitely that will help as a player. And I think I have seen a lot of countries develop in leagues, so that's the thing everyone have to follow.
Yep, more leagues around the world and more opportunities for players
hopefully in Pakistan as well.
There we go. I like the sound of that as well, Laura.
Yeah, I think we'd love a league of our own as well. But yeah, I think just having more teams at the World Cup as well. And I think it's getting even more for the next one. So just to have more teams competing against each other and competing against the top teams.
Yep. There's some big news out recently in terms of Olympics and cricket being included in LA 28. I'm going to go to Elisa and Harman on this one. It's going to be in LA 28, Brisbane 32, and then potentially, if India do bid for the Olympics in India in 36, if they get that call up. So that could be cricket in the next 3 iterations of the Olympics. If cricket does come into the Olympics, Elisa, what does that mean for the game?
Yeah, it's obviously it was an exciting announcement. I think cricket is proving to be a global sport, and I think the Olympics is probably that next step for it to probably showcase that. Especially in the American market, obviously we're looking pretty hard into that and how we can tap into that and give them something else to watch other than baseball. So, yeah, I think it's exciting for the sport. It's exciting for the players that are going to be involved in it, in something bigger than themselves and their teams as a whole. It's about being a part of a broader team, which we got the experience of doing at the Com Games. So it's exciting and hopefully it goes really well.
If India do get the Olympics after Brisbane, you're going to have to build a bigger stadium for cricket, aren't you?
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
Cricket and the Olympics, is that something that you sort of look forward to and say, I'm hanging in there, number one, I want to play at LA 28, but how can you see the impact on the women's game?
Yeah, as she said, it's an exciting announcement and we all are really happy about that. And I just want to add one thing on that. If, Olympic is fine if we get some more test cricket and champion trophy like how men keep playing. And I think if we can add those tournaments in women cricket also, that can be a very excited, stage to go and play.
Yep. Well, I think you're going to get a few more questions from the press after this as well about it. I love the fact that you brought it up as well. I'm going to finish with Sophie and Heather as well. Often we find within the game of cricket there's a comparison between the men's and the women's quite a bit, and sometimes a comparison can be a good thing. It's certainly not a bad thing. Is there something that you would like to see enhanced that's quite unique to the women's game that the men's don't have? I've given you another tough one here, Sophie Devine. I'm so sorry. I might go to Heather further. You're giving me glares at the moment. Is there something within the women's game that's a real point of difference to the men's that we can start to enhance a little bit more?
That's a good question. I would say, like, the men's game is in a place where it's packed, like there's so much going on, and I think women's game at the moment is in its infancy of obviously leagues starting, more depth being created around the world. So I'd say we're at a massive advantage if it's governed properly to plot out what women's cricket looks like and try and help it grow in a really good way rather than sort of just be left to market forces. So yeah, I'd love to see a bit of a plan to help shape women's cricket over the next 5 to 10 years, because the men's game has sort of been left and is in a bit of a state and having a lot of issues, and hopefully we're at the point now where we're at the start of that growth curve, and we can really help shape things. So I'd love to see that happen.
Love it. Well done for being put on the spot with that one.
Yeah, I'll just copy what she said.
Yeah, copy, paste, repeat. I think it was a pretty good answer, wasn't it?
What I think it is, I think it's a really relevant point in terms of keeping relevance in the international game. We all know how much pride we have playing for our countries, whether it's World Cups or bilateral series. I'd love to see the multi-format series come across all teams. I think that's something that you've seen with the Ashes. You've seen it come with a few other teams now. I'd love to see that played across every country that's playing, in the IWC. I think that's a real opportunity, that it levels the playing field. It gives more opportunities. Hopefully you can get a second tier in there as well, so that the countries that haven't quite reached that top tier are getting the same opportunities, and the ability to promote, relegate, I think is something that would be awesome to see. And like Heather said, it's the governance piece, and hopefully we can all work together, both as boards, as ICC and the WCA, in terms of making sure that those windows are kept for franchise cricket, because I think that's really important to provide those opportunities, but making sure that international cricket is, I guess, the foundation of the women's game moving forward.
And multi-format cricket, let's get it in quickly because we need a test match under your belt, don't we?
We do. Time's ticking.
Time's ticking.
So if anyone wants to help us out.
Speaking of time, we've almost wrapped things up. I'm going to just test these captains very briefly before I pass it over to the press. The coin toss, we always talk about it in the game of cricket. Is it important? Is it not important? Who has a good run of getting coin tosses? Who doesn't? There is a captain on this stage at the moment who has had a horrendous run of coin tosses at ICC T20 World Cups with a very poor average of just 29%. You can point to yourself or you can point to another captain who has the worst record of coin tosses of the captains sitting up here at the moment. You're putting your hand up, you're pointing at Harman, everyone's pointing at Harman. And you're what are we feeling here? You're going here? Well, it definitely can't be you, and it certainly can't be you, Laura. Well, with just 14 coin tosses and just winning 4, Heather Knight is either going to have to improve her flipping or her calling. So, Heather, all the best for your coin tosses this World Cup.
It's 50-50 now.
Well, you're at 29%, so my maths is not great, but you're not at 50-50 at the moment. To the captains, thank you so much for your time and being put in the hot seat. I'm good!